A formula in Excel is a calculation performed on the values in a range of cells in your worksheets. Examples of these calculations include addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Once the calculation is completed, the formula returns a result. All formulas begin with an equal sign. It is then followed by a calculation or function. Formulas can contain numbers or cell references. For example, this formula instructs Excel to add the values in cells A1 and B1. Excel usually reads the formula from left to right. The plus character is used for addition and the minus character for subtraction. The asterisk is used for multiplication and the / character is used for division. The formula bar shows the formula in the cell you are working in. The worksheet shows the result of the formula in the formula bar. This is important to take note of when you are creating or working with calculations. A formula can also be static or dynamic. A formula containing fixed numbers will be static and always generate the same result. For example, the formula in E2 is static because it contains specific numerical values. It will not update if any of the monthly figures in cells A2, B2, or C2 change. On the other hand, a formula that contains cell references is dynamic based because Excel always uses the current value in the cell. The formula in E3 is dynamic because it includes cell references. A formula can also refer to a cell in another sheet. This reference must include the worksheet name followed by an exclamation mark. This other worksheet can be in the same workbook or in another Excel file. References to cells in other workbooks are called links or external references. The formula in this screenshot references the products sheet within the same workbook. Begin by positioning the cursor on K3, which is the cost column. This is the cell where the results should be displayed. Then type an equal sign. To determine the cost of the order, you need to multiply the contents of I3, the unit price, by the contents of J3, the number ordered. Select cell I3 to add that reference to the formula. The equal sign and the cell reference are displayed in both the result cell K3 and in the formula bar. Next, type an asterisk symbol to represent multiplication. Then select cell J3. This reference is colored red on the formula bar and the cell is highlighted in red. Press the Enter key to complete the formula. This creates a result of 79,050, which is now visible in K3. Decide to make a change to its order. It wants to reduce the number of units that it ordered by 250. So how can AdventureWorks update the formula with this new information? Amend the figure in J3 and press Enter. This causes the formula in K3 to recalculate and generate a new result of $65,875. If you double-click on a cell such as K3, this opens Edit Mode. While you're in Edit Mode, Excel places colored highlights around the cells referenced in the calculation. It's easy to begin to edit a cell accidentally with a double-click. If the cell contains a formula, particularly one you didn't create, this can be a little worrying. Pressing the Escape key is a safe way to cancel an edit without amending any of the information within a cell. The symbols that are used to indicate mathematical actions in Excel are known as operators. Operators are used for actions like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. For example, you can use operators to add the values of two cells together or divide the value of one cell by another. The order of precedence assigns greater importance to some of the mathematical symbols over others. This means that Excel calculates formulas according to the hierarchical position of each symbol within the order of precedence. Don't worry if you don't fully understand what the order of precedence is. This is covered in a later reading. In terms of importance, Excel tries to process division and multiplication symbols before addition and subtraction. This is a key technique in creating formulas that generate reliable results. Parentheses instruct Excel as to which part of a calculation must be executed first, even if this would contradict the order of precedence. You want Excel to add the numbers 2 and 3 together and then multiply the subtotal result by 4. So you type this formula as equals sign 2 plus 3 multiplied by 4. However, Excel will not process this calculation left to right. Instead, Excel will first multiply 3 by 4, which gives a result of 12. It will then add 2, giving a formula result of 14. This is because the multiplication symbol has a higher priority in the order of precedence. Adding parentheses to the calculation allows you to instruct Excel to do this bit first. So you could rewrite your calculation by placing part of the formula, in this instance 2 plus 3, in parentheses. Now you've directed Excel to add 2 and 3 as its first step, and then multiply the result of that addition by 4. The result of this calculation would be 20 and not 14 as it was previously. Placing parentheses in the wrong position in a formula, or not including them at all, could change how Excel understands and implements the calculation. An incorrect calculation result may not always be obvious, as it may seem plausible. A relative cell reference means that if you copy a formula to a new cell, Excel will adjust the row numbers or the column initials in the cell references to update the formula relative to its new location. This ensures that the formula is correct for the row or column it has been copied to. For example, the formula in K3, which reads equals sign I3 multiplied by J3, is copied down using the autofill feature. Excel adjusts the cell references for each row. For this to happen, you must make the cell reference into an absolute reference. While it copies a formula, it keeps absolute references constant and does not adjust them. For example, if the formula in L3 is copied down through the column, then the reference for the cell that contains the exchange rate needs to say the same. When the formula in L3 is copied down, the K3 reference in the formula will adjust to include a different row number. However, the N2 reference in the formula should not change since the exchange rate is only mentioned in that one cell. This instructs Excel to keep the cell reference constant during the copy operation. This means that all copies of the formulas will contain the original cell reference. Excel will also recalculate and update all formula results when a file is opened. Files that contain a lot of complex calculations will be slower to open fully on screen than ones that only contain data. To change the recalculation mode, select the Calculation Options drop-down on the Formulas ribbon. Then on the drop-down, select the recalculation mode you need for your file.